All right, welcome. We're about to take a 5-minute tour of the most complex, most fascinating thing you will ever own your brain. You ready to see what's really going on inside your head? Let's do it. So, first question, what do you think is the most powerful machine on the entire planet? Nope, it's not a supercomputer, it's not some giant rocket engine, it's that 3-pound universe sitting right between your ears. So yeah, buckle up, we're going in. Our very first stop is going to be the brain's main command center. We're going to meet the staff, get the lay of the land, see how this whole operation is run. And when I say staff, I am not kidding. Get ready for this number. Your personal command center has about 100 billion staff members. To put that in perspective, that's more than 12 times the number of people on Earth, all in your head. So who are all these employees? Well, they're called neurons. Think of them as the brain's information messengers. They're constantly firing off these little electrical signals, creating this massive, high-speed network. And every single thing you think, feel, or do, well, that's just these tiny messengers doing their job.
Okay, so for our tour today, we've got 3 main stops on the itinerary. We're going to see the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Let's get moving.
First up, we're headed to the top floor, the executive suite. This is the cerebrum, and it's where all the big picture, conscious thinking happens. Now, the cerebrum is the biggest part of your brain by far. It's the reason you can think complex thoughts, form words, see the world around you, and experience all your emotions. It's the real powerhouse.
And this executive suite, it's split into 2 main offices, or hemispheres. Now, you've probably heard that whole left brain is for logic, right brain is for creativity thing. And while it's a little more complicated than that, they're always talking to each other. They definitely have their specialties. The left side handles a lot of the language and math, while the right side is more about spatial awareness and artistic stuff. But here's where the wiring gets a little weird. It's all crisscrossed. The left side of your brain controls the right side of your body, and the right side of your brain controls the left. So yeah, next time you wave with your right hand, just remember it's your left brain that's actually calling the shots. Kind of strange, right?
Okay, next stop, we're heading just below the executive suite to a place I like to call the coordination department. This is the cerebellum. Now, the cerebellum might be smaller, but its job is absolutely crucial. It sits in the back and manages all of your fine movements and coordination. You know, every time you walk across a room without falling over, or catch a ball, or just maintain your balance, you've got your cerebellum to thank for that. It's a master of motion. Our last major stop takes us all the way down to the base of the brain, the brainstem. You can think of this as life's autopilot. It's the operations center that's always running in the background, keeping the lights on. See, the brainstem takes care of all the involuntary functions. That's just a fancy way of saying it handles all the stuff your body does automatically, without you even having to think about it. You know, important things, like your heart beating and you breathing in and out. It's literally keeping you alive, second by second. The brainstem is also the main highway connecting the brain to the rest of the body. When your cerebrum decides to do something, that signal has to travel through the brainstem, then down your spinal cord, and finally out to whatever body part needs to move. It's an incredibly efficient system for turning thoughts into action. But what happens when there's no time for that whole process? What happens in an emergency? Well, for our final exhibit, let's look at the reflex. It's like an emergency override system. So, picture this. You accidentally touch a hot stove. Before you even have a chance to think, you get that instant reaction, right? That ouch, hot moment. But think about it for a second. You pulled your hand away instantly, way faster than you could consciously think, that is hot. I should probably move my hand. If we looked at a brain scan in that moment, there'd be almost nothing going on up there. So what just happened? The answer is pretty amazing. It's a reflex action. In a real emergency, the danger signal doesn't waste time traveling all the way up to your brain and back. Nope, it takes a shortcut. The spinal cord itself issues an immediate protective order to pull away. It completely bypasses the brain, all in the name of speed and keeping you safe. So, let's do a quick recap of our tour. We've learned the brain has 3 main parts: the cerebrum up top for all your thinking, the cerebellum in the back for balance and movement, and the brainstem at the bottom handling all the automatic stuff. Oh, and your spinal cord can actually act on its own to protect you. Pretty cool. And that brings our tour to an end with one last kind of mind-bending thought. If your body can act without your brain's direct permission, who or what is truly in control?
Something to think about.